and welcome to the Downtown Kentucky Podcast. I'm Austin slash Parfait.
And I'm Chris slash Ox.
We're here, baby. We're back at it again.
That's right.
That's
Doing
that's
it.
that's the podcast intro. I say we're back at it again. That's
Back
the
at
thing.
it again.
I like to
Well, man.
steal lines from other things and make them our thing. You know, like video
Oh, yeah.
games, we jump right into it. You know, the podcast, we're back at it again.
I feel like a lot of people say that.
Oh, sure. But I'm stealing it from the 21 Pilots song, like we acknowledged like a couple weeks ago when I
Oh,
continued the line.
yeah, that's right. Here we are, addicts to suffering.
To cocaine. What? That's a little tease for the first story. We'll get to that in a minute. We gotta get our little how's it
Yeah.
going out of the way. Chris, how's your week been? Besides watching that video I made you watch for this video for this.
Yeah, that part sucks. Other than that, Thanksgiving was nice.
Oh yeah, I didn't even think about that. You know what? Ignore the list of things real quick. Chris, tell me something you're thankful for.
Man, I'm thankful for my friends, family. I'm thankful that I live where I live, and that I've been afforded the privileges that I have.
Dang.
I've got a lot going for me.
That's a real.
Despite being a retail worker, but
Ooh.
it could be much, much, much worse.
That is fair. I am thankful for downtown Kentucky, my family, Chewy,
Hey, all our listeners.
and Kid Rock. Apparently,
You know what? I'm gonna agree to disagree with you on that one.
Well, see, the thing is, I'm thankful that Kid Rock is an idiot because it means we get a title story.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, no, that's fair.
So, today's title story is all about Kid Rock has a new song.
Yeah, he does. What's
Hello,
up, Chewy?
Chewy.
No worries.
No worries.
Glad to have you.
Glad to have you for a bit if we can.
But yeah, you might catch just the best story that we've got going so far.
So, Kid Rock has a new song out called. What was the exact title of it? It's like "Don't Tell Me How to Live" or something like that.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
Don't Tell Me How to
Monster
Live.
Truck.
Yeah, featuring Monster Truck, which we'll get to Monster Truck in a bit because it's an added little cherry on top to this story. We'll get to when we get to it. So, this story, the song it's basically, I guess I gotta preface this with starting off. This doesn't feel like the story we normally would talk about because this is gonna get a hair political because this song is a lot more than a hair political.
Yeah. I'm gonna say that.
If you could think of the most boomer, right-wing, anonymous person kind of thing, I can't say the actual thing because then we'll get flagged. But
yeah, out of touch as well.
Letter before R, anonymous. Like those people. This is the most them music video ever, and oh buddy, it's just weird. Which I guess a little bit of backstory on why he's probably just a weirdo anyway, but I think the inciting incident that made Kid Rock decide he wanted to release this Proud Boys anthem, if you will,
Yeah.
is he had a bar in Tennessee that he kept open during like peak pandemic, and people were really mad at him over it.
Oh.
Because it was like a
Yeah,
bar.
peak pandemic.
Yeah, it was peak pandemic, and it was a bar. Crazy. Don't open it. Wow. But yeah. So he had that open, and people were really mad at him. And I feel like that's the catalyst for this. Like I think he was probably always a little Republican here and there and stuff, but that like pushed him over the edge. He also, it might have been before or after that, he was also invited to Trump's back when Trump was president. He was invited to the White House. Like he's definitely on that side of the spectrum, which I'm not saying everyone on that side of the spectrum is bad, but man, is Kid Rock crazy.
Yeah.
This song is like every like buzzword you can think of, like thrown into a song. Just it's so bad. It's
Yeah,
so bad. There's
that is
I
pretty
will.
bad.
I think it's fun. I think it's cool that they brought up the old classic of every kid getting a trophy. Haven't heard that one in a while. They've been moving on from that, but he brought it back.
Mm-hmm.
Can't let an old classic waste. Oh God, it's just so bad, and I don't know. Like he, it's just he.
Oh,
I feel like this feels like a song that should be a parody, satire, something, but it's not.
yeah. Watching this video the first time through definitely feels like a parody of itself.
For
It
sure.
isn't. I
No.
think one of the first comments on the YouTube video for the music video puts it aptly, which is finally a new Weird Al video.
Speaking of that, I actually have a tweet that I'm going to show our audience now. This
Oh
is
yeah,
from
yeah,
Weird
yeah.
Al. To everyone that's congratulating me right now on my new Kid Rock parody video, let me clarify, that's not me. That's actually Kid Rock.
Yeah, it
Because
sure is.
the thing about this video is
Uh,
it's not just really, in my opinion, cringy, and on the opposite side of the spectrum is what I like. It feels like he's hitting it's so on the nose, it feels like it has to be fake. But it's
yeah,
not.
yeah,
Like, SNL would kill to have come up with this song first, to talk about someone like him. But he just said, hey, I'll make that genuinely. That's how I feel. Also, I do cocaine.
yeah. Which everybody knows that they're right. Wing is super huge fans of cocaine.
Apparently. I don't know. I feel like a lot of people on the right are older, and cocaine was huge in the '80s. So I mean, there probably is more people doing coke on the right.
That's probably true. It is a rich person
Also,
drug.
yeah, coke is a rich person drug because he lets you know he's rich,
Yeah, yeah, filthy rich.
filthy rich, and it's
Is
just.
one might say.
I think my problem so much with this song is the fact that, unlike you could say some people out there, Republicans, who might feel disenfranchised or whatnot, and I disagree with that, but if I could see it, if you were like a middle class or lower class person who identifies with that, this is one of the richest man ever complaining about literally nothing that affects him.
Yeah.
And it's just, it's so bad. And yeah,
Well, and
honestly,
he doesn't want anyone telling him how to live.
yeah, don't you tell him how to live. And I didn't tease this earlier. I think the cherry on top of this whole story, though, is like you mentioned. Who helped write the song?
Monster Truck?
Which is a Canadian band. This feels like a super "Let's Go America" song, but it's not even fully, because it's a Canadian band who, I guess, from what I understand, this is actually technically a remix of a song they had with like a completely different verses and stuff, and they just came in and did the chorus again, and he rapped over where the verses were.
Ah, excellent.
Yeah. So if you have a curiosity, I can't tell you like, hey, go watch this video because it's bad, but also it's an experience, and you might get a half chuckle being like, this is so crazy, because that's how I felt. This is too crazy to be real, but that's the dystopian world we live in.
It really is.
It really
really
is. Man,
Would I recommend anyone watch it? No.
no.
If you want a good laugh, maybe.
Yeah. If you want to know what we just talked about, maybe. Like, if you want to fully, like, grasp... Because I don't know if we did it... Not in, like, a good way, but we didn't do it justice explaining how just
How
cringy
cringy,
it is.
bad,
I will warn, if you're a viewer of ours who, might like the PG content, this is definitely not for you, because apparently the only words he knows are curses, because this song is, like,
yeah,
70%
that's another thing.
F-bombs, and it's just like...
Yeah.
Good
Yeah,
for
Kid
you,
Rock
Kid Rock.
Curses in this song like he just discovered what curse words were.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, this is the best thing since sliced bread.
Yeah.
Like, you curse, whatever, but there's definitely, like, a level where it's
Just so cringy.
just
It's so over the top.
weird and, yeah,
Like
it's too
everything
much.
everything about this song is like, in slight moderation, I might not agree with it, but I would be like, whatever. But it's
Yeah.
so over the top, every piece of it. Like, he does much. He's snoring so much coke. He's doing more lines than a, what was it?
No. He's ripped more lines than a
Oh,
10-pound
okay.
bass.
That was
Because, a 10-pound bass is very heavy.
It is a
Rip
heavy.
a lot of lines.
Yeah, because it's a fishing joke for.
Caught on a fishing line.
Yeah.
For all them fishing boys.
He also references Milli Vanilli, which I also thought was funny because Milli Vanilli hasn't been relevant at all since like
and
the
Run DMC.
Well, Run DMC are iconic. They'll never stop being somewhat relevant. Milli Vanilli
have that one song.
Milli Vanilli was a failed band that like got outed for being fakes in the early 90s. It might have even been the late 80s.
Yeah. He makes a lot of references to people who are not relevant anymore, nor have they been in a long time.
Like Kid Rock.
Yeah, much like himself.
Well, I think that's enough dunking on Kid Rock.
Yeah. Now it's time for us to be the old people.
Yeah, it really is. It's time for Old Man Yells at TikTok, guys. It's your 8th favorite segment we do sometimes. So this week in TikTok news, which, to be fair, is only kind of this week. It's re-popped up this week. Apparently this is something that's gone back since 2019. And slight preface, it's actually not that popular, but it is so crazy I had to bring it up.
Okay.
And that is the Kool-Aid Man challenge.
I'll be honest, I don't know what this one is.
Take a guess.
But
Chris,
I'm going to guess.
Take a guess.
They bust through the wall.
Very, very close. They
tried to bust through the wall. With Kool-Aid in their hand.
There's no Kool-Aid from what I've seen.
Oh, okay.
It's busting through fences, yelling, "Oh yeah."
Oh, well, I wasn't too far off.
No, because it's pretty. It's there. You see where they're going with it, and
Yeah.
It's mostly
Why?
in the because they're bored teenagers in the suburbs. It's a lot of like upstate New York and and Idaho. I think had a lot of like it's just people who have nothing. Teenagers who have nothing better to do. The difference is, unlike in the past, they're as the what's the phrase, like caught themselves in 4K. Like back in the day, teenagers did the same kind of crap, but we weren't filming it, so we were able to just get away with being idiots without the whole world having to know about it.
Yeah. Or the consequences that might follow.
Yeah. But yeah, that's really the whole story. It's just people are busting through poor, innocent, random people in the suburbs' fences. Apparently one person's house got hit like 3 times.
Wow. That's wild.
You have to think it's probably a situation where after the first one, they're like, oh crap, that fence was actually easy enough to break. Because some fences, they probably go, I'm going to break through that fence, and then they just hit a fence.
They go, ah!
Ow, my shoulder!
Wow.
But yeah,
I hate
TikTok? Yeah, me too. That's why we have this segment as much as I can. If there's ever a time where I can be mad at TikTok, I do.
Look, if anyone's watching this and you ever get really bored and you feel like busting through a fence, stop. Get some help.
Fair.
There's a lot of other things to do. They've got video games. They've got, streaming services. You don't have an excuse to go running through people's fences.
You can,
There's more things to do now than there ever has been at any given point in time.
Tweet Kid Rock. Maybe he'll hook you up with some cocaine.
Yeah. Or learn how to fish.
Learn how to fish.
Do something. Just
or you know what? Bust through the fence. Just stop recording yourself.
Yeah.
I'm joking.
Oh,
Don't bust through fences. Well, moving on to more me yelling at the internet news. Kind of. This is actually more of a honestly I'm happy story. So as if you're a longtime viewer, you know that I hate crypto / the NFT world that we live in currently. I typically describe it as like dystopian news. Chris is reading ahead in the story, and I see the smile on his face, and I'm very happy to see it. So in NFT news today, someone has stolen. The words I heard were every, but I don't know if that's true. But they've stolen every NFT by right-clicking and saving them. Because if you don't know, when you get an NFT, you don't actually own it. You own a link to it that's still a kind of link that you can just copy and paste and take the image. Because, yeah, NFTs. They're stupid. They're. But yeah, so someone has stolen everyone and saved them all, and they are currently hosting them on a site called NFT Bay, which is a play on the old Pirate Bay website, which was where a lot of like pirated movies and television used to be. I don't believe it exists anymore, so like saying that means nothing, I believe, at this point.
All right.
But it was a website that used to exist, an old torrent site, and now there's NFT Bay, and this site is currently hosting 15 terabytes of NFTs.
That is insane.
And I
love it.
And I love it. The only slight downside is there are some people in the NFT world who, because this is actually like an art piece kind of thing. Like it was like not art piece. Yeah. It was a statement of this person basically being like, hey, the problem with NFTs is the way the links they're on, they could just go away. Eventually these are just going to be, 404 not found links if these servers ever go offline.
Yeah.
And so there are some people in the NFT community who are actually like being like, oh, cool, this guy like is preserving all of them. This is awesome. It's like, but that wasn't the intent behind it. The intent behind it was trying to say, hey, this is stupid.
Yeah. Hey, this is dumb.
Yeah.
Incredibly unsafe inherently.
Yeah.
And a huge waste of money. Whoa, crazy. Who would have thought?
Well, I mean, it is and it is. I'm not saying it isn't. It's just, you could also argue it is just it's a form of cryptocurrency, which...
A form of investment?
Yeah, it's still... I agree that it's still stupid, but there is an argument that the art is a bonus on a crypto, kind of, in a sense. Which, if the current way the crypto world worked wasn't destroying the environment, I wouldn't hate NFTs as much as I do. Apparently there are better ways to do it, but most of them are still on Ethereum, which is one of, like, the worst cryptos when it comes to, like, destroying the environment. So that's cool.
Yeah. I may or may not be on NFT Bay currently. And I've got to say, wow.
Yeah.
It really is. And, it also makes me question, why would anyone buy these?
That's, yeah.
Browsing through a lot of these. I mean, there's some that are art pieces, and those are cool.
Yeah, but most of them are, weird, very overproduced, but slightly different, like, animals. That's the big thing in NFTs for some reason. Your lazy lions, your bored apes, your 50 other adjective animal.
Pixel art of Pikachu in a... Can't quite figure out what kind of outfit that is, but...
Yeah.
Yeah. It is... It's just so unsafe. I think somehow, NFTs, despite being, like, cool in the aspect that there's, like, art behind the basically cryptocurrency that you're buying, it is also the least safe form of cryptocurrency that I think exists right now.
Yeah.
Because someone can just, do this.
But the thing is, it's all about... I don't know why I'm defending NFTs, because I don't give a crap. But the argument... To play devil's advocate, the argument is you can... this is like the big one is, well, you can download a picture of the Mona Lisa. That doesn't mean you own the Mona Lisa.
You're right.
Which is what they try to say. It's be like saying, hey, I own the Mona Lisa. I mean, it's not. It's a stupid ape smoking a cigar. But...
Right.
But yeah,
they do have a whole Bored Ape Yacht Club.
We talked about the Bored Ape Yacht Club before. That's where that's the cool kid. Cool. That's where the lame ripoff of the Gorillas is from. The Kingship.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of news we have covered before, I actually have.
Oh my gosh!
This next story is actually really sad news.
Good callback. Yeah,
it's
actually really sad.
Normally, when we have callbacks, it's like, oh, this crazy new thing, hey, Captain Kirk went to space and he was moved insanely by it. You know, we have some update that's like, oh, here's a new piece of it. This is a sad one. If you remember back, we talked a couple of weeks ago, months ago, actually, I think it was like early October, late September.
Yeah.
We talked about Mr. Gox, the crypto hamster, who, a little brief rundown if you don't remember, is a hamster that was trading, was like helping people decide what cryptocurrency to do. He'd run on his wheel, it would pick a random cryptocurrency, and then he'd go through one of two tunnels. One said buy, one said sell. So, and he was like, to show how broken crypto is, he was doing amazing. Like, he was doing better than Warren Buffett. He was doing better than Bitcoin itself at the time. Like, he was, if you followed what he did, you were going to make a lot of money at the time.
Yeah.
Sadly, because, you know, he's a hamster and hamsters only live about 2 years, he has passed away.
R.I.P.
Yeah. There's not really any more to the story. I guess part of the story is the people who did it initially said that they don't know if they're going to do more, like do another hamster doing the same idea, but as of right now, they basically said, hey, respect our privacy, we're saddened, we lost our pet. Like, yeah, it was a silly fun joke for the internet, but it was also, they cared about that. They cared about, his name isn't actually Mr. Gox, he had some other name that I don't remember what it was off the top of my head.
Oh.
And they said that they missed their hamster. So, I guess if you're a drinker, pour one out for Mr. Gox.
Moment of silence.
Moment of silence. F in chat.
All right.
All right, and moving on.
Moving on.
To our next story, which is kind of, ties back into kind of our point on being, my point at least, about yelling at TikTok about how stop filming yourself doing things.
Yeah, especially if they're not legal.
Yeah, if it's a crime, maybe don't broadcast that you're doing it. Maybe don't write a whole song about how you love to do cocaine.
Yeah. Also, maybe don't do the crime in the first place. Definitely don't record yourself.
100%. The appropriate answer is don't commit crimes. But if you're going to, because you want to, and you're a bad person, and you don't care, don't broadcast, "Hey, I'm doing it," like a bunch of people did recently in Southern California. So there was a armored truck carrying a bunch of money that I don't remember how it happened, but somehow the back doors got open and tons of money fell onto the highway. I think it was like Highway 5, which if you're from California that means something, I think, but not to me. Apparently it's one of the most busy roads they have. And thousands upon thousands of dollars spilled out from this truck. And of course, as you would expect, people parked their cars and started taking as much money as they could. Lots of people filming it and, incriminating themselves, and not innocent people, but people behind them who weren't trying to film themselves or caught in the background and being found out by the cops.
People who tried to steal in private.
Yeah, who are now being outed as thieves by the person who thought, I'm going to steal money on camera, it'll be funny. And here's the thing. That story alone would have been enough for me to be like, haha, let's laugh at these people. But the creme de la creme, the best part of it is, so one couple, I believe it was, who did it, got out of their car to steal some money, accidentally locked their keys in their car and had to call a service to help get their keys out. I don't know if they got in trouble besides that, but I don't know how you don't say, I was just getting out of my car to look at the money. I mean, you've caught yourself as, why were you out of your car on the freeway to get your keys locked out?
I had to make sure the money didn't go anywhere.
Yeah, I was watching it for you.
Didn't want the wind to blow it away or something.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, people are dumb. That's crazy.
People are dumb. Speaking of dumb people... No, I'm just kidding. I'm happy about this next story. Speaking of dumb people, Governor Greg Abbott...
That's fair.
That's definitely my opinion on Greg Abbott. As a Texan, I'm allowed to have an opinion on my governor, and I hate him. I really didn't like the way that we all lost power and everything, and how they did nothing about it. It's a whole different story. But
pretty cool.
Yeah. But
Tune in this February to see if it happens again.
by tune in, we mean don't tune in because we won't be able to stream because we won't have power.
Won't have any power at all.
Actually, I probably
Whoopsies.
will because apparently I live on like a good grid that's like probably connects to a hospital or something. Because I did not lose power at all during the snowpocalypse, the whatever you want to call it, that people were calling it.
Lucky dog.
So yeah, I guess if it happens again, maybe Chris will come over to my house and we'll use my internet and.
Ooh, probably.
Yeah, probably not. Almost definitely not.
We'll be locked inside my house, trying to stay warm.
Fair. But the point is, Governor Greg Abbott, he is currently the governor, but he might not be the governor for long.
That's right.
Because there will be a new election. I believe it's next year is when we elect our governor, and there's people like Beto O'Rourke who is trying to run again, and I don't see it going well for him because as much as I think he'd be better than Greg Abbott, he's still not the best, and people hate him. So
yeah.
But thing is, the candidate I'm going to be voting for probably. I think he's going to make Texas all right. That's right. Matthew McConaughey has said that he's probably going to run.
For governor of Texas.
Yeah, so apparently the way it works is like you have to, by the end of December, announce that you're going to run officially, and he hasn't done that yet, but he's being very, saying, yeah, I've done a lot of research on it, and I might do it, kind of a thing. So we'll see. Matthew McConaughey might be running for governor. We might have Governor Matthew McConaughey of Texas.
And we'll be the second state with a celebrity actor as our governor.
Yeah. And
California, you had the governor, but we're going to have the
McConaughey
guy from
the Lincoln commercials.
The guy from the Lincoln commercials and that one whiskey commercial that I can't remember.
And he also was in, was it Fast Times at Ridgemont High? No, it wasn't. It was Dazed and Confused. That was the one he was in.
Dazed and Confused is all right. Yeah. He's also in the Space movie, which did really well.
Yeah, was he in Gravity? Or was that a different one?
No.
Interstellar.
Interstellar. He was in Interstellar.
Those movies came out way too close to each other and had similar enough plots that it always confused me.
No.
I never saw either of them. And they were both about space, and they came out at the same time.
Similar enough plots.
Space.
I haven't seen any of them. But they've got similar plot.
Yeah, they both take place in space, Chris. That's a similar enough plot that it confused me.
Friday the 13th and what's the Jason movies?
Friday the 13th.
Oh. Yeah, Friday the 13th and Nightmare on Elm Street.
Oh,
basically the same plot.
Oh, you mean those movies that are both slasher films and are considered the same genre? Yeah, I agree. Those are similar things.
No, you said similar genres. Similar genre does not equate to plot. Gotta say that.
Alright, so moving right along. Matthew McConaughey might be governor.
Yeah, I mean, based on the polls so far, Matthew McConaughey is leading by a landslide.
Is he really?
In terms of popularity, yeah.
Oh, I didn't do any actual research on this. That's awesome. I'm glad.
Yeah, a coworker talked to me about this at work, and I was like, "Wait, Matthew McConaughey is running for governor?" He was like, "Yeah," and he's, yeah, he was like, "Yeah, he said he might," and in popularity polls that they're running, he's doing really well. I was like, "Oh." Yeah, he's like, yeah, he's beating literally everyone. Like, oh, okay, well that's fun.
Cool. All right.
So yeah. All right. Let's move right along, shall we?
To a not so happy story. A man threatened Little Caesars workers with an AK-47 because of a 10-minute wait, because apparently his pizza wasn't hot and ready quick enough, it sounds like.
I'm sure somebody tried to tell him how to live on the way in, and he just couldn't take it anymore.
He went outside, he snorted some cocaine. We're probably going to get flagged for saying cocaine too many times.
Probably. Almost certainly.
Almost definitely. He came back in with an AK-47 and, threatened them with it. Because, his pizza was taking too long at Little Caesars. And I know what you're thinking. No. This wasn't in Texas. This was in Tennessee. It tracks. Yeah.
That makes sense.
I believe Tennessee, the home of said bar that Kid Rock wouldn't close, if I remember right. I'm not saying this man was Kid Rock, but he might have been the drummer for the band, the Monster Truck.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, that's... But no one was harmed?
I believe so. I do believe part of the story. I didn't read the actual article. I just heard someone talking about the article. I believe part of the story was that they did what they do with a lot of times when escalation started happening. They offered him free breadsticks to try to settle him down.
Did it work?
I don't think so. I believe. To be fair, this story was from. They said the full headline was after a 10-minute wait, police say. So, cops were called. He was, I believe, arrested. So.
Well, yeah, rightfully so.
I think the moral of the story is, don't claim to have hot and ready pizza if it's not actually hot and ready.
Don't bring an AK-47 to Little Caesars, I think is the real lesson, guys.
Mm-hmm. You might get free breadsticks if you do, though.
And you also will almost certainly get arrested.
Don't tell me what to do, how to live, or whatever the stupid song is.
Alright, Kid Rock.
To be fair, I think he lives in Tennessee. I'm just saying.
Can't trust them people from Tennessee.
Alright, moving right along to our next segment. It's one of our weekly segments. We have it every week. It has graphics. That's how regular this segment is. What's that?
Oh my gosh!
It's a movie club.
That's right.
Chris, what is a movie club?
Oh, a movie club's a whole lot like a book club, except instead of for books, it's for movies. What's a book club, you might say? I don't read. Yeah, neither do I. So I don't know. Just kidding.
A book club.
I do know what
a book club is, and a book club is where you read a book in between. Read a chapter of a book between every time you meet up, or a whole book, depending on how far out your book club meets, and then you come back and you talk about it together. And that's the idea behind movie club. Is every week, me and Chris, we watch a really crappy movie. Well, we watch. Sometimes. Every once in a while we get an okay movie. But in general, the idea is we're trying to find what's the opposite of creme de la creme. What's the crap de la crap. We're trying to find the bottom of the barrel. And we did it. We found some bottom of the barrel movie for this week.
Right. To no one's surprise.
Nope.
It's an old Adam Sandler's movie. And an Adam Sandler's movie from the mid-2000s.
Late 2000s, actually, I believe. I think this is 2010.
It's 2010.
Yeah. It's... 2011 is what it says on this movie poster.
Well, there you go.
Oh, Jack and Jill.
Late 2000s.
Jack and Jill.
Yeah.
Where do you even start? The movie sucks. I mean, I guess that's where you can start.
The movie is terrible.
I will say it's one of those movies where the first 10 minutes there was 3 or 4 jokes that actually made me laugh of the 50 jokes they threw at the screen, and I was like, is this gonna be okay? No, it wasn't. Those were the only funny jokes in the whole movie.
Yeah, this is pretty terrible.
We did talk about it on the actual movie club commentary, which we didn't even plug yet. If you want to watch these movies with us, you can't, because you probably don't live in the same state, and even if you did, we don't know you. It's a whole thing. But if you want to feel like you're watching the movie with us, we do put out another show called Movie Club Commentary, which is a commentary track where you can watch these movies with us. Think of a Mystery Science 3000, all the other crap. Those kind of things. Riff tracks. There's 50 other people who've done it better than us. But we said, hey, if we have to watch these movies, let's at least make even more content out of it.
That's right. Why not?
So, during that, we did mention that I kind of brought up how I think we have Eddie Murphy to blame for this movie. Because this movie, if you don't know somehow, and maybe you're an audio listener and you didn't see the picture, and you just heard, an Adam Sandler movie called Jack and Jill? What is this? So the general idea of this plot is Jack, played by Adam Sandler's sister's coming to visit for the holidays. His twin sister, played by Adam Sandler.
Yep.
And that's about as far as they got when they pitched this, I think, was just, I play both characters. Oh!
Very zany, and I don't like my character as
Yeah.
my other character.
Yeah. Which, I think is a, commentary for probably the mental illness Adam Sandler was going through writing this, a battle of hatred for himself. um, yeah, it's terrible. And like I was saying before, my ADD distracted me. We have Eddie Murphy to blame for this because of things like The Nutty Professor being, for some reason, a movie that's actually not terrible. The only scene that people seem to care about was the scene where he played all the whole family. And then Nutty Professor 2 was pretty much only that whole family. And then, at some time probably close to that, Tyler Perry decided to play Medea. And there's tons of other things with the similar premise of guy plays a different version, like normally a woman, and it's just so bad. It's just so it wasn't funny when the Nutty Professor did it, and it has gotten progressively less funny every time someone else has tried to do it.
Yeah.
The only, I guess, good thing for this movie was Adam Sandler and cast got to go on vacation. I guess good for them. Adam Sandler's friends who don't do anything but be in Adam Sandler movies got to have another movie put on their IMDb. Good for them.
Right. And another paycheck as well.
Yeah. It was bad. We watched this specifically because, like we mentioned earlier at the beginning of this, we watched this because of Thanksgiving. And, Thanksgiving was the first 5 minutes and then nothing else of the movie.
Yep. It turns into a holiday movie at the end.
Yeah. Surprisingly enough, though, they don't spend any time talking about Christmas, even though the movie does go over Christmas.
Yep.
Which, I guess...
None at all.
Whatever. Movie sucks. If you're gonna watch it with us.
Yeah.
I actually will say,
unfunny fart jokes with us.
To, toot our own horn, I think this might have been our funniest movie club commentary. I feel like I remember thinking that during it. There was a lot of material for us to riff on.
Yeah. Because there is a lot of unfunny jokes, which we tried to make into funny jokes.
Yeah, we were able to make fun of them and make it funny. I think. I think. That's my opinion,
That's for you to find out.
Yeah, you go check it out yourself and suffer through that movie with us. I don't even feel like good encouraging that. Ugh, I feel dirty.
Yeah, that's fair.
Now is where we would normally go to trailer talk, but there's no good trailers this week.
No, rest in peace.
Yeah. We almost talked about the Morbius trailer from 3 weeks ago, but
no,
there was nothing that interesting from it. It was just a trailer that was honestly, I watched it and I was like, this took me from not caring at all about this movie to being like, yeah, I'll probably see it when it comes to VOD. It took me from whatever to I guess on VOD I'll try it.
Yeah, I guess once it hits Disney Plus, I might watch it.
Oh, it won't be on Disney Plus because that's a Sony part of the Sonyverse, which means I don't know where it'll ever be.
Oh.
Yeah, Morbius falls under the Venom universe of doesn't actually fit anywhere, and Sony doesn't have an app, so. We almost talked about it. I just want to tease this idea because it was just so baffling to me. We almost talked about the 1991 movie My Girl during the trailer talk segment because when I went to look for the Morbius trailer, for some reason on the Sony YouTube, they uploaded a bunch of old movies trailers, and there was the My Girl trailer. I was like, that's just so weird. Why? Why is the My Girl trailer from 91 on YouTube from less than a week ago? The official Sony page. But instead we don't get to make jokes about dying from bees. I'm sorry, not this week.
Sorry guys.
Well, this might be a short podcast because it's time for the segment of all segments.
Oh my god,
it's time for Tournament of Champions. Season 1, Episode 2. You may be thinking, you've been doing this segment for 3 months. What do you mean season 1? Well, the first 8-9 weeks we've decided are season 0 there, and we've changed the format ever so slightly. Now, rather than being themed battles, it's a random draw from literally 512 possible characters that could be in it. There's a potential 8-season plan for this show.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, which I actually finished today.
We'll never die.
Yeah, I actually finished it today. So I have 512 characters on a list, and 64 of them have been decided to be in season 1. Let's find out who's today's 8 are.
Okay.
In season 2, episode 1, we have on the West Coast. Yes. West Coast bracket number 1, we have Hawkeye, the champion of Chewie.
It's a good thing Chewie's not here
It's
anymore.
good thing Chewie left. I don't know. I don't know anything about the character he's facing, so we'll see. He's facing Chris's champion from Chris's favorite game, Jack and Daxter. It's Jak and Daxter. I know on your list it just says Jak, but I realized we did Banjo and Kazooie together, so we're counting them together.
Okay.
Yeah. Because I assume that it's a situation where the gameplay is tied, that you kind of control both of them at the same time kind of thing?
Not really, no.
Okay, then it's just Jak.
Yeah. Jak is definitely the primary character, and there's like a few mini games and like smaller portions where you do puzzles with Daxter. But it's definitely Jak doing the most work.
Well, look at that. It says Jak, and it's always said Jak, and never said anything else on the screen for the people.
Oh, that's crazy.
Hawkeye versus Jak from Jak and Daxter, or Jak 2.
No,
or
Jak
the third
3.
one. I think that had a subtitle. Jak 2 was just Jak 2.
I think it's just Jak 3.
Okay. Also on the West Coast bracket, we have Supergirl taking on Penny Parker, which you may be saying, who's Penny Parker?
Yeah.
She is
Penny Parker.
She is a form of Peter Parker from the multiverse. She is the little Japanese girl with the giant mech and the robot from Into the Spider-Verse.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah. That is Penny Parker. She has a giant mech. She'll be taking on Supergirl from DC Comics and Arrowverse television show.
Supergirl is. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I Googled it.
I'm not sorry.
Yeah. All right, heading over to the East
Superman,
Coast.
but a girl.
Heading over to the East Coast, we have Jon Snow from Game of Thrones taking on James Bond from
James
Spectre.
Bond.
I'm just kidding.
From what?
Spectre. Specifically James Bond from Spectre. I gotta be clear. No. Little side note on that battle. It was actually supposed to be James Bond versus One Punch Man until I found out that One Punch Man can't lose in a fight canonically, and I was like, well, then he's just out of the tournament. Sorry to any fans. One Punch Man was supposed to be in this tournament until I did an ever so slight amount of research and found out he could never lose to anyone. And I was like, well, that's not fun.
Yeah. He's yeah.
Yeah.
One Punch Man is a fun anime to watch, though. If you want to watch something just goofy that makes fun of all the tropes.
I wanted to have One Punch Man in here because I was like, oh, I'm sure like some of like the super powerful characters would be able to fight him, and it's like what I was reading was basically like no. Yeah.
No. Yeah.
So One Punch Man.
If he lands a punch, you're dead.
One Punch Man was replaced by someone who was not even in the tournament, and Jon Snow took the spot for tonight's battle. Then in our final East Coast bracket, we have Bayonetta from Bayonetta.
All right.
Taking on Doomslayer or Doom Guy, depending on when you started playing Doom, from Doom. Played by Dwayne Johnson, I believe, in the Doom movie.
No.
No? Does he not play Doomslayer?
Nope.
That's lame. He should have.
Yeah.
Well, either way, it's Doomslayer, not played by Dwayne Johnson.
No. Dwayne Johnson is actually red herring in that movie and just turns into one of the hell demons.
See, as someone who hasn't seen it and just saw the box art, assumed he was playing the title character.
You would think. Yeah, no. You would think.
All right, well, it's time to start the bracket.
Yeah.
All right, we have Hawkeye versus Jak in our West Coast bracket. And Chris,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not even gonna do it to you this time. Um, just explain to me why Jack wins, because I honestly don't know enough about him to know if Hawkeye has a chance. I know a lot about Hawkeye. I don't care about him, but I know enough about him that I think I could see him winning in some fights. So,
So yeah, normally Jack has like crazy guns, and we're assuming this is I think Jack 3 Jack because that would be the most recent one.
okay,
Uh, and I think with just his guns, would probably still be able to beat Hawkeye because he has like a mini nuke
fair.
uh gun.
But
uh,
does he have a bow and arrow?
no,
Okay.
but he does have the power to uh basically become an angel and or a devil, like a demon man,
Okay.
uh, which gives him like super strength and also the power to like shoot electricity out of his hands and fly and become invisible.
But does he have a bow and arrow?
No.
I think I'll win.
No, I don't think that he
No, he
does.
doesn't. If you're a big Hawkeye fan, Chewie, if you're watching this in the VOD, don't worry. Unlike any other character in this, Ronan is also in this tournament, so you might get to see him again.
Yeah, hold
He's
on.
not in season 1, but he will show up at some point with his cool sword. If you want to see Hawkeye with a sword, he will be back.
Yeah, he's got light and dark eco. And he does have, with his dark eco activated, just an ability to become invincible.
That seems broken.
Yeah, it's a temporary invincibility,
Okay.
but and also become giant, apparently, which I don't remember, but yeah, got that
Alright.
going for him. And his light eco, he can regenerate his life. He's
Ooh.
got a light shield that he can generate as well,
Okay.
and freeze time.
Hmm.
He's got a lot going for him.
Alright. He already moved on. We'll see what happens in later fights. But for
Yeah.
now,
He
Jack,
definitely beats Hawkeye.
100%. Yeah, no. Big Hawkeye fans, don't worry. Ronan will be in a future season, which means not in the next 8 weeks or whatever, but he could be in another season. He is part of the 512. He is not part of this 64.
Okay.
Well, moving on to our second West Coast quarterfinal. We have a DC versus Marvel fight here. We have Supergirl taking on Penny Parker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So tell me, Austin, how Penny Parker beats Supergirl.
No, that's my job, is to tell you to tell
Oh.
me how the unwinnable fight happens.
Well, I kind of just want to put things on its head for a little bit.
The answer... Actually, I mean, to be fair, there is a way she could maybe do it. Penny Parker is very smart. If she did any research, she could find out about kryptonite, hypothetically. And if she used kryptonite, she could maybe beat her. Some sort of like kryptonite-laced webs. Possibility. It's a possibility. I'm not saying that would be how it could maybe happen.
Yeah, I mean, that's valid. I think that's also just a Batman argument, but then also...
Yeah, no, it is. It is, but technically the Batman argument should apply for anyone who's smart enough to be ready for this fight. But we've never said how much preparation time they have, which will come into play at a later time for a different argument, at a completely different point. We will have to bring up preparation time for one character in this 512. Not in the season. Don't worry about it.
Okay, I was like, in this episode?
No. In the general, I call it on my spreadsheet where I put all this out. I called it Arc 1, but I'll be honest, it was almost impossible to find enough for this, so there will never be another arc. But for this 512 people, there is one character that we will have to discuss preparation time, because if not, they just get murdered immediately. That's enough hints that maybe you can figure out who it is, maybe you can't. Find out at some point, maybe, unless we stop doing this segment. Who knows? So yeah, Supergirl definitely wins.
Yeah, she does. Yeah.
Supergirl is she's Superman, but a girl, so she's unbeatable practically.
Almost, yeah.
Yeah.
Almost.
Um, next
Almost.
to our next battle, we have Jon Snow representing Game of Thrones. This is on the East Coast. Jon
Hmm.
Snow versus James Bond representing James Bond.
Yeah.
Um, I'll be honest. I was really worried for James Bond in this tournament, especially when the One Punch Man was here. I didn't think he'd have a chance against anyone in this bracket.
Eh.
But when he was replaced by Jon Snow, who is just a guy who can use a sword, I
Uh-huh.
think the guy with the gun wins.
I think you might be right, my friend.
I think James Bond gets a round one finish, which like good for him because James Bond, iconic character. I mean, Jon Snow also is a loved character by people who like Game of Thrones. I'm one of those
Yeah.
people. I like Game of Thrones. Like, he's cool, but James Bond is definitely has more staying power as a character for sure.
Yeah.
He's about to be in his 25th movie, or it already came out. One of the two.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. He's a master of martial arts and also a really well-trained marksman.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I'm gonna say he's a master marksman as well.
He's got a gun, which is already more than Jon Snow has. Jon Snow
That's right.
might be able to pick up a
Has-
bow and arrow.
Yeah, might.
Might, like, if there's one near him, he might be able to pick it up. I don't know how good he is at it. I don't remember. No, actually, to be fair, he does know how to use a bow and arrow. From thinking back to the show, he was shown, like, teaching Arya how to shoot a bow and arrow. So he definitely
Okay.
knows how to use a bow and arrow. But a gun is faster than a bow and arrow.
Sure is.
And if you're a marksman, you now shot him through the head. Jon Snow, I'm sorry. Thanks for coming. If Melisandre was here to bring you back to life, hey, cool. But she's not. So,
Nope.
James Bond.
R.I.P.
Spoiler alert, I guess, if you haven't watched Game of Thrones.
Uh-oh. I haven't. Don't plan on it, though, so I don't care.
That's fair. Moving on to Bayonetta versus Doomslayer.
And I think this is probably the closest matchup that we've had so far tonight, at least in the round one.
Jon Snow and James Bond wasn't too far off. I mean, like they're both just literally
Two regular dudes.
regular dudes. Just one of them happened to have a better weapon that day. Like, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know how well trained Jon Snow is in martial arts, so couldn't say if he was any good in
Yeah, but
hand-to-hand combat.
not that well. But he knows how to use a sword. So I don't know if you're hand to hand, I'd give sword over martial art. Probably, I would think. Maybe, I don't know. Well, it doesn't matter because the gun beats all. James Bond moved on, but I could see an argument for if it was hand to hand, Jon Snow had a chance, but it wasn't because that's not part of the rules. It doesn't have to be hand to hand. So, but yeah, moving on to our final round one quarterfinals, however you want to word it, bracket matchup. We have Bayonetta from Bayonetta and Doomslayer from Doom.
Yep. I'm really trying to figure out Doomslayer versus Bayonetta.
I'll be honest, I don't know much about either character.
I don't either in terms of like what their true powers are. I know that Bayonetta is like a witch.
Mm-hmm.
I
think Doomslayer's for the
and
most
like
part
a
just
pretty
kind of.
formidable one.
I think Doomslayer's kind of just a dude with a gun, like a really good gun and a really nice suit. But does he actually have like special powers besides just like what the suit does?
He is like the peak human.
Okay.
Like
So is Doomslayer just Master Chief? Is Master Chief just a ripoff of Doomslayer, like one for one?
Kind of, but like Doomslayer is definitely better than Master Chief.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Then
because he's fought demons for centuries and doesn't need to eat, drink, or like sleep at all.
And Master Chief.
So he's kind of become a god in his own right.
Huh. Is this a coin flip?
Hold on, because let me look at Bayonetta's powers. I know she's kind of wickety whack as well.
Okay.
Yeah, I think Doomslayer has canonically like killed gods.
Oh.
So he's got that going for him.
Good for Doomslayer.
Yeah. Is much stronger than the ordinary human. She's strong enough to suplex massive dragons and send giant buildings flying with her kicks. Okay, so they both have superhuman strength, speed, and agility. She does have the ability to do witch time, which like slows down time if somebody tries to hit her. I don't think Doomslayer has any like time control abilities.
I don't know.
He does have like superhuman intellect though, so he is really smart. But does smarts beat magic is the question.
Mm.
And to be honest, I don't know the answer to that question. She can summon demons, so that's kind of. But Doomslayer literally kills demons
Yeah.
like all the time.
Chris, I think this might be the first ever time where we go to a coin. Not because either of us is fighting, just because I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either. I'm leaning towards Doomslayer over Bayonetta,
Okay, so you'll
but
be.
I also don't know.
Then you'll
Yeah.
represent Doomslayer. Give
Okay.
me heads or tails.
Is there a relevancy? Yeah, I'll let Bayonetta have heads because she's got the hair.
Okay.
I'll go tails.
All right.
'Cause
Coin flip.
Doomslayer's mad thick.
All right, heads or tails. That is heads. Bayonetta moves on.
Sorry, guys.
Um,
I like Doomslayer. He's a cool dude, but I just don't know enough about him.
but Bayonetta, like, sometimes when she does the hair thing, she's like kind of naked, so
No,
she wins.
it's true. He does have cool guns too. Well,
It's true.
Yeah, so does.
So
yeah.
does Doomslayer.
Yeah.
That's kind of
That's-
definitely his thing.
Yeah. And the really awesome chainsaw that rips through demons.
Well, it sounds like the more you're talking, Doomslayer should have won, so you should have brought these points up before we went to the coin.
I don't really know if they're points. They're just cool things that he's got going on for.
Well, maybe someday Doomslayer will have another chance in a, redemption season or something. Probably not, but who knows?
Probably not.
Almost definitely not. But hey.
Maybe if it wasn't against Bayonetta,
Yeah.
he would have moved on.
And that's the whole thing about this thing. If you're Chewie out there and you're like, this is crap, this is rigged. Hey, if Hawkeye was against James Bond, he had a chance. But he wasn't. So let's move on to our first semifinal. Let's head on over back to the West Coast. We have Jack versus Supergirl.
I also think this is a pretty close fight.
Yeah. From someone who didn't know anything about Jack, hearing you talk about it today, it sounds like he's pretty OP.
He's kind of nutty. He's
now-
kind of also killed a god in his own right. So.
But unless we use the old Batman argument, Supergirl pretty much can't be beat.
Yeah, not by normal people.
Yeah, and like I feel like,
well, by magic, she definitely can be beat.
That's true. But I don't know if any of Jack's magic makes him able to beat her with it. I don't know. Like from what you were describing, none of it sounds like, oh, that would definitely take out Supergirl.
Yeah, those were all just the abilities that like wouldn't let him get hurt.
Yeah. Okay.
But he does also have a lot of attacks as well. So Light Jack definitely focuses on like healing and kind of invincibility and stuff like that. Dark Jack balances both, kind of.
Okay.
He has an ability called Dark Blast, which when he jumps into the air and spins, it like releases enemy-seeking bolts of dark eco, harming or destroying all enemies within its radius. And eco, for people who don't know the Jack and Daxter lore, basically if you get infected by dark eco, you just die. Like your body can't handle it, and you just that's it. Jack got infected and miraculously survived, and now has harnessed it. So I don't know if eco would be effective at all towards her, because they're two different universes.
They are.
She is definitely kind of just naturally inherently invincible.
Yeah.
To most things, well, not invincible, impermeable.
Yeah.
To most things. I would say based on the fact that she's just naturally that way, and that like his invincibility is something that he has to activate.
Yeah.
And only lasts for a limited time. It would be a more drawn out fight, but I think that Supergirl would probably win in like a War of Attrition style fight.
That is what my thought process was, but because you were so loving Jack, if you went the other way, I might have let you have it. But because we're all on the same page, I was also thinking Supergirl would win, because it's the same reason why Superman wasn't allowed in our original tournament. Because Superman's broken. But the problem was, I realized after we did that, was there was a lot of other characters that were also broken that were just allowed to be in Tournament 0.
Yeah, yeah. We did let the Scarlet Witch into the town.
Yeah, which she is in this season, so
She
we
is.
will see her again.
Yeah.
The question is,
Yeah.
will she be the first ever Tournament of Champions winners in 70 episodes or whatever? Possibly. We'll see.
Hmm.
Next up. All right, Chris. It's that time of the day. If you're a new listener, this is my favorite part of this segment. Hey, Chris. Tell me how James Bond could beat Bayonetta.
So he seduces her because he's a
Ooh.
master of, womanizing.
I don't even,
James Bond movies.
I'm cutting you off. I don't want to hear any more. We're just moving on. Bayonetta wins.
Yeah,
Which,
fair.
to a first time ever, self pat on the back, all female final. We're pretty,
Oh my God.
open to, the world. We're pretty cool. We're woke.
It almost wasn't with
It wasn't.
Doomslayer.
Or Jack. They both almost lost their matches for them. But
I really don't think Jack would have beaten Supergirl in really
Okay.
any scenario.
all right. Well, Doomslayer almost beat Bayonetta. Who knows if he made the right choice?
Who
You'll
knows?
yell at us in the comments in 2 years when you finally see this video.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the finals are Supergirl versus Bayonetta, and I know where my heart's at.
It's what Supergirl is.
It's with Supergirl. She's Superman. Superman is broken. I hate Superman. He's the worst character ever.
Hmm.
And Supergirl is just girl Superman.
Okay. Let's summon Infernals. Let's see. Wow. Wow. Let's see. Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yep.
This is really good podcast material right here, where you just
Okay,
reading.
yeah, all right. So I'm trying to figure out if there is anything, because I mean, she is kind of wild in terms of her powers as well,
Okay.
as you might guess,
Yeah.
from somebody with 3 games,
Mm-hmm.
and as a gun-wielding super witch that can summon demons,
Mm-hmm.
like really powerful demons apparently.
Hmm.
Ooh, hold on. Malphus, one of the Infernals she's able to summon, as they call him, is the one that is usually summoned to fight airborne opponents. However, an enigmatic raven blackbird shrouded in mysteries of the sky, ever curious Malphus has filled itself with all the world's knowledge and mysteries. However, the same curiosity has led to a rather brutal demeanor, causing the bird to tear those it encounters to shreds with its sharp beak and razor-long talons. I'm gonna say that with the knowledge of all of the world, that maybe Bayonetta knows about Supergirl's weakness.
One thing though,
And also she has guns
which do nothing to Supergirl. Yeah, exactly.
with kryptonite bullets.
But the thing is, Bayonetta doesn't have that knowledge. That bird demon that just likes to rip people up. There's no talking about how that bird demon talks to her and tells her all this knowledge. The bird has the knowledge. The demon bird. I'm just like, I don't know if that demon had the foresight to say, I'm gonna go grab kryptonite so I can rip them up. Because I don't know if Bayonetta knows about the kryptonite. I don't know. I don't know.
I think she could probably drag on the fight long enough to get kryptonite from somewhere. She does have superhuman speed, strength, and agility. And also has witch time, which would allow her to dodge pretty much any of like Supergirl's attacks.
Yeah, but can she? I assume because it's a video game character, witch time can't be used nonstop.
No, it can't. You just have to time it correctly.
That's so broken.
Yeah, you just have to be good at the game. And Bayonetta being herself, I would imagine she would just do it as frequently as humanly possible.
For the sake of the fact that Superman and Superboy are also in this giant tournament. I think Supergirl's going to lose today.
Yeah, I mean, magic is pretty hard to beat when you're just an alien.
But see, to be
Does
fair,
it happen? Sure.
To be fair, I think this was. I was barely swayed because I still think that there's an element of those characters are too broken and can't be beaten, like unless you have kryptonite, which I don't know why she would know to have kryptonite unless she just eventually figured it out. I still think there's a little bit of a jump to conclusion that she figured out about kryptonite.
I think in the fight she would, like,
Find
after hitting her a few times, and,
Fine.
like, hitting her a bunch,
How would she then
being
know?
like, why is she not getting hurt at all? And summons one of the Infernals, you know, that has all of the knowledge of the world to figure that out.
Yeah, I guess. Maybe. I don't know. They didn't say that she has all the knowledge of the world. So I don't know if they communicate with her in that sense.
I'm pretty sure the demons and the Infernals in the game do communicate with Bayonetta.
Okay.
Let me hold on. Do the Infernals communicate with Bayonetta? Let's find out. We're doing a little research here.
We're gonna do a little bit of research. Because if they don't, my answer is Supergirl. But if they do, Bayonetta.
Hmm.
Chris is currently reading an answer. Just trying to see if he can find it.
Yeah, I'm trying to find an answer. It's also... Answer.
Hey! I'm making up music so we don't get copyrighted.
Man, looking this up makes me really want to play Bayonetta. Like a really cool game. Not a butterfly. Yeah.
It sounds like there is no official answer because no one's ever thought about this weird reason why she would need to specifically communicate and find out stuff. Like, I don't know. I think in my heart, in my mind, I still think Supergirl might win. But like I said, there's enough other broken characters. I'm going to put Bayonetta through because I don't think she's that broken. I think she could still be beaten by a lot of characters.
I don't think she's that broken, but she is definitely kind of busted.
Yeah, no, that's fair. But, like, I don't think there's... What was I going to say?
Able to crush several gigantic angels with her heels and stab them mercilessly with her own weapon.
She's very powerful.
Is one of the other Infernals she can summon.
Fair. I'm not saying she's not super powerful and insane. I'm just saying I don't think I'm going to use the she can have all knowledge argument and let that slide ever again in a different fight. We'll see, but I still am on the fence about that now, but just due to the fact that, let's be honest, this is our stupid thing, and I don't really want a third Superman to make it through this because the other two probably will. Because who knows who they're going to get pulled up against. None of them are in this season, so who knows when we'll see them. But they will be there eventually. And then there's also, we have people like, I think Goku's in this, who's just another Superman, who's just Superman again. There's a lot of characters that are just stupid and broken. So, we don't need Supergirl. We'll put Bayonetta, because I actually think she can be beaten.
I think she can be beat as well.
And I think there's
I also think that this argument is a valid argument to beat Supergirl.
Yeah. I think there are definitely worlds where she does figure it out, but I also think there's worlds where she doesn't.
Yeah, that's fair.
And I'm fine with letting her win this. She is our second ever champion of this season,
and a pretty cool one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One who almost didn't even make it to out of her first round fight.
I mean, she had a really tough first round fight. That really, I don't think we could have anticipated how tough it would have been.
To be fair, I thought Doomslayer was just kind of a dude. I didn't realize he had so much stuff.
Yeah, but he's kind of immortal.
he's gone now, so
R.I.P.
Bye, Doomslayer.
Well, he did have to fight, the
champion.
The champion. So
losing to the champion.
That's a rough draw on him.
Losing to the champion is acceptable. And also, let's be honest, if he would have lost to either of them going into the semi. Like if he was on either side of the bracket, he would have lost to Supergirl as well.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. That was
he does have superhuman intellect, though.
That doesn't mean he knows about kryptonite. But that's not the point. The point is, Bayonetta's your champion. This has been a podcast. We will be back on tomorrow, not with a podcast, but with It Takes Two gameplay.
Oh my god.
9:30 tomorrow on twitch.tv/downtown Kentucky if you're a YouTube
Please show
person.
up.
Yeah, please show
It's
up.
a good game.
Yeah, and no one showed
Not
up.
for us, for the game.
Yeah, and not a lot of you showed up today, and that's fair. Show up tomorrow, it'll be better.
Will be.
Maybe. I don't know, I actually thought this was a fun podcast. But
Yeah.
whatever.
I just enjoy video games, so if you enjoy video games, yeah, that'll be there tomorrow.
And I just enjoy talking. So if you want to hear just us talking, tune in on Thursday when you can on YouTube exclusively, where you can hear us talk over the amazing Christmas classic, I'll Be Home for Christmas. We already watched it. Spoiler. I don't know. I guess show up.
Yeah.
Thursday night we'll be back with Game Dev Tycoon, one of the last episodes. We'll see.
Probably. Find out.
We might try to. I might try to get like 3 more episodes out of it so we can finish out the year. We'll see. And then on Friday we'll be back at it with the Sacrifice SMP. We'll be joined by my childhood best friend CJ/Alpha.
Woo!
And we will be playing more of that. I think it's a real good time. I think it might be my new favorite series we're doing. But I also think a lot of our series are really good. So, I'm just a stupid shill. So, bye-bye!
Goodbye.